being nice is a waste of time. That's the last thing my CEO ever said to me. The context doesn't matter. There's no good context for that phrase. And I know it was just another MBA business school alpha bro take that I've come to expect from MBA business school alpha bros, but that little quip set off an avalanche that had been building up inside of me for almost 20 years. Let me back up. See, I was vice president of a tech company. I spent nearly 20 years working in tech, from spy agencies to small business to the military to FAANG. And I always knew that corporate tech was toxic for me, but I mean, really, how many people actually like their jobs, right? I was paid well, and even if the system sucked, at least I was one of the good guys in that crappy system. I played the political games and tried to shield my people from crap rolling downhill. I took pride in being a pain in the ass to leadership on things like compensation, benefits, work-life balance. Sometimes I even won. But then one day, the final turd atop a mountain of corporate bullshit, I can't even be nice. You know, part of me wishes it had been something more dramatic that set me off, something outrageous, something worth writing a book over. But in a way, being nice is a waste of time was a great summary of everything that I despised about working in corporate tech. The greed, the hierarchy, the developers are a dime a dozen attitude, where the people who did the actual work were just disposable commodities. People were fungible. That weekend, I decided I was done. On Monday morning, I went in and quit my job without notice and without explanation. Just to whom it may concern, this is to inform you that I am resigning effective immediately. I cannot tell you how much restraint it took not to tell them the reasons I was rage quitting. All of the things I really thought about some of the people up top. I swear, corpo rats get under my skin like no one else can. But you know what they say, if you can't say anything nice. So when my phone lit up with messages from the CEO, I blocked him. Because being nice is a waste of time, right? There was a period of detox and floundering. I was so burned out after years of circling back and synergy and all that phony professional politeness. I'd toyed with the idea of a startup for a while, but my heart just wasn't in it. I never even wanted to go into tech in the first place. The grown-ups in my life had convinced college-bound me that my dream of writing books and making video games was a naive life plan. So I'd taken the safe path and hated every minute of it. So what if I did circle back? When I was 12, I had big plans to start a video game company one day. I was going to call it Farfalagum Entertainment because 12-year-old me thought that that was funny. I was going to make amazing, epic RPGs modeled after my favorite game at the time, Final Fantasy VI. Fast forward to my 40s, and I actually had skills and savings. I knew a lot about software development. I could code. I'd been writing novels over the last several years, so I could write a story. I could manage teams. I was even a mediocre artist and musician. And over the past few years, I had actually been dipping my toes into game development. See, every year my company had a 48-hour code-a-thon. Everybody form teams, work on whatever you want, we'll order pizza, and at the end we'll crowd into a big room and show off what we've built and make a competition out of it. Techies love to show off. Now, the board hated this because it meant paying people for a whole 2 days to do unprofitable work. So the compromise was that our do whatever you want projects needed to be go do whatever you want so long as it's something we could potentially monetize and turn into a profit. So obviously some of these projects were horrifically dull. I mean, like making plugins for our timesheet level of boring. But for myself and a group of weirdos in my division, we went off script and we found an excuse to turn these competitions into game jams. At first, it was using a video game engine to do interactive 3D data visualization. Another year, we demonstrated the potential of machine learning. This was before ChatGPT and all of that. So we trained an AI to play a video game, which of course meant an excuse to build a simple video game. I learned to make shitty pixel art and goes too hard music. Our sound effects were just Zach saying stuff and making noises. Boom. Another year, we made a 3D platformer, something akin to Portal meets Redstone. It was a ton of fun, but honestly, I can't remember what kind of business value it was supposed to represent. That was the last code-a-thon before I quit. And then a few months later, the technical lead on one of my projects quit too. Boom. Zach and I met up and got to talking over some tacos one day, and turns out he had video games on the brain too. Before long, Goo Monster Studio was born. Oh, and now our old company has banned people from doing video games at their code-a-thons. Quitting my job like this was absolutely not part of my life plan. And yet, Walking away from my career is one of the single best decisions I've ever made. So today I've written a book with more on the way. Zach and I started Goo Monster Studio. So my day job is making video games. My side hustle is writing books. I'm doing exactly what 12-year-old me said he wanted to do. Will it work out for us? We'll see when our game launches. As Zach keeps telling me, we still have to stick the landing. It's a very real possibility that we land face first and make a complete fool of ourselves. But I think I'd rather dig ditches than go back to corporate tech. The world needs ditches. I'm not so convinced we need more tech.